All right, let's kick this off. You're here at the Six Figure Service Online Workshop, and today we are going to be talking about how to build a six-figure iconic offer for wellness and events teachers, coaches, facilitators, or service providers without working for peanuts. And probably for many of you, you've probably been through those phases where you feel like your effort is just not being rewarded in cash, in pay, in reward, or maybe you're earning lots of revenue, but you're not getting any profit out of it. And so that feels sometimes a little bit resentful. This is where we start getting a little bit dirty on our own business and we think, oh, I'm going to throw it out the window because I'm just not getting any return on my investment for time, effort, energy, and financial reward. So today we're going to talk about how to actually consolidate and distill your unique skills that you already have that don't need any extra certifications, qualifications, university degrees into an offer that actually makes you really high profit and reduces your time, effort, and energy and output that you need to actually produce. Now, all of you on here have very different business models, but the good news is that this works for everyone. I have tried probably nearly six different business models now since starting in the last probably about 6 years ago is when I started my first business. And I have now worked out a business model that works for me, that works for my lifestyle, that generates a great income, that delivers phenomenal results for clients. And I actually really love coming to work every single day and working around the lifestyle that I have built for myself as well. So I'm going to talk you through that today. For the solies that are already in here, you guys know we are working heavily on offers for a lot of you at the moment. A lot of the Soulful CEO group is brand new and we're working on offers as well. You're going to get extra gold nuggets in here as well. So please stay for the whole time and stay for the whole end. And feel free to take some screenshots, share it on socials, tag me, of course. It's a double underscore between Harmony and Jade. I would love to celebrate you for showing up as well. So I'm going to kick this off. So today we are going to cover a few specific outcomes, and I want you guys to remember that building a business is not just about making money. Obviously, we all want to make money. This is just facts of life, right? We all need to make money. And in 2026, the cost of living has never been greater for the everyday Australian. And so we need to actually be making not just revenue, but we need to be making profit. So we're going to look at that a little bit today as well. And we're going to talk about what's currently stopping you from making six figures. Now, I say six figures because for even some of you in here who have previously worked in corporate or maybe considering leaving a job and going all in on your business, we're leaving high, stable incomes. And a lot of the time we come into small business and we think that six figures is going to solve all our problems. But when you're running a business yourself, actually six figures isn't necessarily what you're taking home. That is obviously paying out your expenses, paying for team, paying for platforms, the endless amounts of subscriptions that we run our businesses on these days as well. And so we need to be making more than six figures to ensure that we are actually being able to pay ourselves a wage that actually covers our personal expenses, not just our business expenses. So we don't want you guys just breaking even. We want you guys making an actual profit for your business so that you can reinvest in your business and grow your business, but also making a profit so that you actually get paid. Because I know from previous experience myself, there is times when you just transfer money out of the business account to pay for personal expenses if you're a sole trader still. And this is just not sustainable. Stealing from Peter to give to Paul, it's not sustainable. So we need to work out a way where we can make you well over six figures that is highly profitable beyond 50% so that you can actually pay yourself and reinvest in your business at the same time. Give me a yes in the chat if you relate to that already. We're also going to talk about the practical and logical side of business that is not emotional. Because what happens is, particularly as female entrepreneurs, generally speaking, we get stuck in here, our heads, and we overthink things and we don't come back to the logical and practical side of running a business, or we get in the feels in our heart and we go, I feel, and then we get caught up in it, and the two can conflict. But what we need to do is look at this as if we were working in someone else's business. What would we actually do to move the needle first, rather than focusing on all the fluffy shit that just doesn't actually matter? So give me a yes in the chat or a fluffy in the chat if you find yourself often getting stuck in the fluff. I know for me, it still happens. Believe it or not, it still happens. Next, we're also talking about clarity and what you actually need to create an iconic offer. What actually makes it iconic? What is actually going to make it sell? And the next steps to selling it. If you are ready to get an iconic offer that makes six figures, give me a heck yes in the chat. I'm just going to make sure that my chat box is open because that is also hiding. Awesome. Okie dokie. All right. Just going to make sure that I have let everyone else in. Cool. We have. Perfect. Hell yeah, let's go. Okay. So you probably know from a little bit of my background, and I know a couple of you that even if you're not in Soulful CEO, you have maybe met me before. And for those that are watching back that haven't met me before, hi, I'm Harmony. I am a business coach and mentor, and I have been mentoring now for specifically in my business over 5 years, but over my career, more than actually 25 years in multiple different ways. So I worked in the retail sector for over 20 years in fashion, homewares, and textiles, and I have a lot of endless, to be honest, experience in sales, service, and leadership. Now, I say service because service is the difference between how people are going to buy and how they're going to shop, how they're going to spend and invest in your business versus any other business. If we are being perfectly honest with ourselves right now, people can get your service somewhere else. None of you on this call, and this in the least offensive way possible, none of you on this call have invented anything. We are not Einstein. We have not invented anything from scratch. Yes, we might be doing it a little bit differently, but we haven't invented anything. And so service is going to be the biggest differentiator between you and where else your customers shop. And they're not even competing with another massage place. They're not even competing with another retreat center. They're not even competing with another sauna or another healer or coach. You're competing with anywhere your clients can spend money at the moment because people's buying behavior is different and people are looking for experiences over things. We have seen this big change. Yes, there's still some people that are about materialistic things, but most people are looking for experiences in 2026 and they're looking for a service that meets them exactly where they're at. And so that's why service is a part of your sales and has to be the priority in your iconic offer. So sales were my number one KPI for literally 21 years, and realistically, they still are, and they are for you as well. And so if we're not prioritizing the sales side of our business, we're literally not going to make any sales. And it comes from having an offer. An offer is easy to sell, and sales becomes easy when we have a service that people want that is aligned with us, that's easy to sell, that's in alignment with our values and our mission and our bigger impact. If we do it from a place of, I need to make money, this is a lack energy, and we are likely to actually repel people away from us. So I also have been the number one sales leader in multiple companies. Records have never been broken of one streak I had in one company where I actually had more than 15 stores at any given time beat their budget every single month for 24 months straight. So that is 2 years in a row of them beating their own sales driven by me and particular sales techniques. So I know how sales work. And I know that this was bricks and mortar, and some of you have got bricks and mortar, which is great, but it works for every single business, including online, as long as the offer is right, the service is there, and you're providing a holistic experience for people that is unbeatable. As I know, if I walk into Woolworths, I'm not going to get personal service. That's just not how it is, unless I get to the checkout and talk to someone, which is a rare occurrence now because they've taken the personal side of that experience away from the business. But I know that if I go down to my little IGA, I'm going to get some form of interaction with a person. And this is a supermarket. So we're talking potentially bottom of the food chain of service level experiences, right? But I actually, if I want to, and I want that personalized service, I want a higher quality product, I can actually go to the little guy. And that is the difference in how people are standing out now. Same with Aldi, people go there because you actually get a checkout person. You don't have to scan your own stuff. Mind you, they're also moving away from that. So I want you to keep that in mind that Service and experience is going to be the big game changer in your iconic offer and what's going to help you stand out amongst a flooded market of everyone else doing the same stuff as you. I'm not anti hard work, just to be clear. I work hard, but I work smart. This week is a really good example. And because you've shown up, I'm going to be super vulnerable with you. This week, I've had a really rough week personally. I'm going through some stuff in my personal life that has been really hard. And every single day this week, I have worked less than 3 hours. And my business has still run. I've still got people sign up to this workshop. I've still serviced every single one of my customers and replied back to every single question in my program, working less than 3 hours a day. In fact, I think I've actually only probably worked less than, I don't know, 4 days this week. I think it might have even been three if we take out today's workshop. So between my business model and my team, we've just got it. And this is why this model works for me because it's my lifestyle that I want to have. It's been built around all of my personal values, my lifestyle. I've made it to Pilates every single day this week. I've made it to the beach every single day this week. I have taken time out for appointments that I've needed to take this week. And I've taken space just for me, just to be because I needed it. Now, not every week is like that. Some weeks I have more energy or I have a new idea for something. And unfortunately for my team, comes at usually the last minute. And I'm like, cool, we're going to do this and we're going to launch it tomorrow. And I can do that because I have the flexibility in my business. But if we have no structure, no system, we're just hustling. And if we don't know how our sales is actually going to work for our business or if it's working for us and our schedule, then we have to hustle. And then it feels like hard work. Then it feels like we're pushing shit uphill every single week. Thanks, Danielle. I really appreciate you too. And so it's really important that our offer is built to support us and not suck the life out of us. So tell me if in the chat you currently feel like some of your offers or your business is sucking the life out of you. I would just truly be interested to know. So obviously we're going to talk a bit more in a moment as well about why people buy offers. But tell me in the chat if you feel like your business is currently sucking the life out of you, then I'm also sending you big love. Now, I have a little story about this lady that I have named Banana Lady. If you've been following me on social media for a while, you may have even seen this lady before. Claire, not currently, but it has last year. Yeah, you had 1,000 things going on personally and business-wise. Thank you very much for sending your love. Appreciate that. But yeah, you totally get it, right? You're juggling multiple things as well and have a very busy business with lots of people in your business too. So I totally hear that. So the Banana Lady story. So earlier on this year, I ran my business and soul reset retreat in Bali, and we met this lady that we have so named Banana Lady. She was actually at the water temple and she was trying to flog us bananas. And so we got off the bus, and every single one of us, she was trying to sell us these bananas, and it was hectic. And she was relentless. And she started out with this smiley face. And this is where I took a photo of her because she was just actually so beautiful. And we just thought this is so cute. And anyway, she's trying to sell us bananas, and we're like, no thanks, we're good, we're good. And we were just on our way in. Anyway, we spent the whole morning there, went for a walk, went through the markets, all of the things, and we were then running super, super late to our next venue that my guests didn't actually even know about because it was a surprise day for them. And we were heading back towards the bus, and this banana lady comes from nowhere, like completely different spot than we saw her earlier. And she is trying to sell me bananas, and she's going, please buy banana, please buy banana. And she is like slashing the price of the bananas. And I can't even remember for the currency conversion what it was, but she was like making them so cheap that we almost would be dumb not to say no. And she kept making them so cheap, but also harassing me so much. She nearly got in the bus with me. She came all the way to the door, and Christy and Claire Cardew, they will tell you that this woman nearly hopped in the bus with us, and we were like panicking at this stage because we were like, how do we get her out of the actual bus? I don't want to shut the door on her face, but she was like harassing us, speaking in Indonesian. We had no idea what was going on. And the point of this is you can slash the price of a banana, you can do whatever you need with a banana. And if someone doesn't want a banana, it doesn't matter how you try and sell it or how cheap you make it. People won't buy bananas if they don't like bananas. And so we do this often. with our offers unconsciously. We don't realize we do this. We create an offer as a business owner from a place of, I want to sell this, but not actually. She does need to diversify. She needs to get maybe some banana bread or some other things. But we try and push what we want to sell. And sometimes we really not listening exactly to what the market needs. Now, if she had have said, do you want something else? We probably, all 10 of us probably would have gone, we need water. But she was just trying to sell us bananas. And so if we're not listening to what our customer actually needs and we're not opening conversation with them, then we're just going to miss opportunities to sell them other things or to sell them the right thing. And maybe she just needs to stop picking bananas. And who knows, maybe her family runs a banana farm, I'm assuming. But hopefully this makes sense that often we try and push something that isn't right for the customer at that time. Maybe I don't need a banana right now. Maybe I need water now, and then maybe I need a banana to go. But we need to think about, what does our customer need right now? And are we meeting them exactly where they're at now? And for several of your customers, they're going to be at different stages. So maybe you've got customers that have been with you for a while, and maybe they're going to need something different then because they've been working with you for a little bit. But at the first time they meet you, what do they actually need? What experience do they need? What emotion or connection do they need with you in that moment? What language do they need to hear to feel safe to buy from you? So these are all the things that we need to consider when we're creating an offer. It's not just about us, and it's not just about how you want to deliver the service. It's how best will these people receive the service and at what price is going to be fair and valuable for the offer that you're selling. So we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper now, but hopefully you resonate with my banana lady. She was hilarious and beautiful, and we still value her. Okay. The reality check is that often we have too many offers. So what happens, and I see all the time, is that we start creating more offers or changing the offer because we think, oh, the offer isn't selling. But if we are unclear on why the offer isn't selling, it might just be a messaging issue. It might be what's included in it. It might be the way it's being delivered. Maybe you're trying to sell an online thing and people actually want to see you in person. Maybe you're seeing people in person and people actually can't make it in. So we need to have a think about what's going on rather than just keep creating too many offers. Oftentimes, if we've got any freelancers watching back, it's a custom quotes where what we're doing is like custom quoting per service, per person that comes in. We're changing the offer and we're customizing it. And sometimes we think that customizing it makes it more valuable. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just makes it confusing. And it means on the back end of that, from a business point of view, that actually your workload increases because then you have to build a different sales funnel. Then you have to set up a different checkout code or send a different link or send a custom quote or follow up extra quotes. If it's not easy for people to purchase, it's also going to make it hard for you to sell. Then what happens is we get inconsistent income because we go through feast and famine. We go through stages where it is hard to sell or something is not selling correctly. And so we get inconsistent income. If the pricing is misaligned with the skills or results. So if we're new to it and we haven't got the practice and we haven't got the proof, sometimes there's a value misalignment or a pricing misalignment in what is being conveyed to our clients and what their perception of us is. Sometimes our income gets tied to our availability. So if you are in massage or have any appointment-based business model, then sometimes we're literally just trading time for money. And by that, I mean that customer comes in for a massage at $120. And then once you have fully booked all of your massage spots for that week, you will have an energetic cap on that, either as an individual or as a team, then you can't make any more money. So there's several clients and a couple on this call that have that kind of business model, and that's tricky. There's a few inside Soulful CEO Collective at the moment, clinic-based, really particular in this model as well. So we've got people that are fully booked, but they can't possibly earn more than $5,000 a month because they can't physically take any more clients. So long term, it's okay, what's our goal here? What's our workaround? Is there any other way that we can be making more money without having to be hands-on any extra time? So this might be currently where you're at. We're going to do that assessment in a minute. But where you want to be is probably sales coming in consistently, potentially people booking without even talking to you, new clients sending through payments without the extra effort, and actually still being able to get along with your lifestyle exactly the way you want it to be. Having your free time, going to Pilates, doing your beach walks, whatever the thing is for you, you want to have that freedom. That's what it's all about, and be able to pay your bills both personally and business wise. So, hopefully, this is starting to resonate, or something here is going, yeah, hang on a minute, this is what's not working in my business too. Give me just a sip. 1 second. So, this is where we get this invisible income ceiling is we think that busy is the goal or a good sign of us being successful. And it's just not scalable. Being busy isn't scalable. We also used to measure, and you would have seen this probably if you've been in business for, I don't know, tell me in the chat how long you've been in business in years. If you've been in business for probably around 5 years or 4 to 5 years ago when I started my business, every single person was like promoting on their social media, I'm fully booked. And if you're listening to this, inverted commas, I'm fully booked. And that was the measure of success. Claire might remember this. And it's just not the way it is anymore. Being fully booked isn't the goal. Being profitable is the goal. We can be fully booked, but like I said, you can be fully booked but not be making any money. And it's happening in most businesses. And that's not where we want to be. That's not where I want to be, at least anyway. I would rather have less people that I'm working with, but actually be profitable and actually be making a bigger impact and giving a better service. And you'll see that there are coaching programs out there that literally have hundreds of people in them and they work 24/7. I don't want that for me. And maybe you want that's totally cool. If you want, that's fine. But being fully booked isn't necessarily the goal. And so you need to clarify for yourself, what does that actually look like for you? What do you actually want? We also used to say that being qualified will get you paid and get you paid more. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a need for this, and we are also in I'm going to call it an epidemic of GPT coaches. And controversial opinion, I'm probably going to do some content around this soon. But there are people that are coming online and starting businesses from AI, and they are going to get found out very quickly. In fact, my prediction is in the next 18 months, you will see more businesses close than ever before because these people are relying on GPT and they're not relying on any skills that they actually have. Now, there's certain business models that's going to work for, but there's also a heck of a lot of them that are not going to work. And our industry, the wellness event space, is one of them where you cannot just get your knowledge of GPT and use that as your qualification or as your resource to build a program. You have to have your own knowledge, your own skills, your own lived experience to share. In fact, more people will buy from you if you have a lived experience and have proof that your method works than if you have qualifications that you don't know how to put into a program that actually gets people a transformation. So being qualified isn't just the end goal. However, having skills and being paid adequately for them because you can prove that it works is what's going to get you to six figures and beyond. Let me know what your thoughts are on that in the chat. I would also love to hear it. My chat box has just decided to be ginormous. So let me just do a little shrinky of this. Okie dokies. So busy, not bankable, again, comes from too many services, which equals confused buyers. Generally speaking, people don't know what they want. They know they have a problem, but they don't know what they want. And so one of the things that I see also happen and I talked about this at my business breakthrough workshop. So a couple of you who attended that would also have maybe heard me say this before, but particularly in our industry, we tend to sell the modalities that we're qualified in. So we go, oh, I'm a human design guide, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a breathwork facilitator, XYZ. And what happens is we sell people the modality. Now, if people don't know the modality or they don't know what that actually is going to do for them, they're going to say, oh, that's not for me. Or, for example, if they're not spiritual and we are a bit more on that side, they're going to think, oh, I'm not really spiritual. This is not going to work for me. And we're selling the modality instead of selling the outcome. And so that actually confuses our buyers as well. So it's really important that our messaging in our offer actually talks about the results and the problems that we solve rather than the tools that are going to help them get there. If I have a really bad back, the point in which I can't get out of bed anymore I'm not going to give a shit what service is going to fix me. I just want to get out of my pain. And so, if someone can talk to me in a way that I understand is going to help my exact problem and the exact situation that I'm in, which is I can't get out of bed every day, I can't twist in my chair at work, whatever that is, I'm not going to worry about necessarily the modality unless I have a preconceived fear around it, which can be handled in marketing as well, right? So we need to not worry so much about the actual modality and passing on all of our wisdom and knowledge from our trainings for everything that we've ever learned into one message, into just how can I tell this person in the simplest possible way that I can solve their problem today and make it urgent. The other part is obviously the pricing of it and that actually being profitable. So we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Please pop for me now in the chat. How many offers do you currently have? And I want you to have a really good think about that. How many things do you currently sell? Even if you have one business, are there multiple ways people can buy from you? Tell me in the chat, how many ways can people buy from you at the moment? So if you have multiple services or multiple events, multiple different types of clients that are in your wheelhouse, tell me in the chat, how many offers are you currently selling? Crystal, one, we love this for you. We've been working very hard on nailing this one offer. I'd love to hear a couple more. If you can pop in the chat for me, how many offers are you currently selling? Multiple services, couldn't tell you the number, perhaps 20. Yep. And your business, yep, fair enough, because you've got a lot of different services within the bricks and mortar. Katana, 3 main offers. Yep. And just added in retreats. So I guess 4. Yep. Cool. So we probably also don't realize that we've got so many offers. And that also makes it really hard for us as marketers as well. So we're adding extra workload to our schedule because we're going to have so many different things that we need to market. And that's just extra time consuming and also can be confusing for our clients if we're marketing every single individual offer and every single modality. It gets really confusing for the consumer who, especially if you're B2C, like business to clients and not business to business, who don't understand the difference between what they actually need and what they don't need. Okay, so busy, not bankable. We've covered that. So just as an example and maybe something to reflect on, we do have a worksheet, by the way, which we're going to get to shortly. But I want to talk to one big problem that I see across the wellness and events industry and even the coaching and health space is that oftentimes we think that selling more is actually going to get us to where we want to go. And what that does, again, is caps our time and caps our income. So I would love to know from you guys, would you rather, 1, 2, or 3 here, would you rather service more people at a lower rate, service more people at a higher rate, or serve fewer people at a higher rate? What would feel good for you? So just in the example of group classes, for example, I'm going to take a yoga teacher, for example. If someone is a yoga teacher, and even if they don't have their own studio, but maybe they're a contractor and they want to make 10K per month, they would need to teach at an average contractor rate. This is an approximate, at an average contractor rate for a yoga teacher in 2026. They would need to teach 166 classes a month to make 10K. Now, 10K being the number that if you were a single person and you had to pay rent in this economy, buy groceries, pay for a car, pay for fuel, have health insurance, keep up medical, provide for your kids, all of those sorts of things, you would have to make more than $10,000 a month just to break even on your personal and business expenses. You would have to. And so teaching 166 classes a month as like a yoga teacher, oh my God, that would seriously kill me. Which they don't tell you this when you go and do your yoga teacher training for those that are yoga teacher trainers or even other wellness providers on this call, because I know there's a few of you here as well. They don't tell you this sort of stuff that you are going to have to teach plus 20 classes a week just to break even and support yourself and pay rent. And that is my worst nightmare. Not to mention that is physically exhausting. And if you're like me and you're an empath and you do some of this hands-on stuff in person with wellness and healing clients that are going through stuff, then you're probably going to absorb the energy of the people that you're around as well. Makes it extra tricky. Then you go to one-on-one, which is also what I did. I went to one-on-one, and then energetically and time-wise for the lifestyle that I want, I got capped out at 8 people. Now, I could have put my price up and gone all in on higher ticket one-on-one coaching using my method and my philosophy that I was helping people with, and using still my same skills from being a yoga teacher, but in one-on-one sessions. And that got me to around 5K, but I was capped. And so I couldn't earn any more. And then I could go down into holistic, and I could probably get a little bit more distilled in on that, and I could raise my prices a little bit more. But I was still going to be capped at a certain income level. And that's when I thought, you know what? One, I want more income because I have goals, I have life goals, and I have needs, and I need to keep a roof over my head, and I'm a single woman, all the things. But also, it capped my impact. I couldn't help more people. And again, if you're not familiar on my story, there's a fair bit about it on my website, but I suffered a mental breakdown, and that was from the hustle life. And my number one impact goal is to help women get out of this state. And so I wanted to be able to reach more people, and I couldn't do that in one-on-one. And so hence I started this Soulful CEO Collective so that I could help business women in a group environment where you guys felt like you're a part of community. And this is scalable. This is something that I could have as many people in there as I wanted. There is so many ways, and there will be stages of that growth where I get to choose whether or not I want to employ other coaches and take that next level. And if I do want hundreds of clients in there, it's possible for me. It's not possible for that in one-on-one unless you just keep bumping your prices up. But people have a certain expectation around what's included in an offer for that rate. So something to think about, which would you rather? Because if you want one, like that's totally fine. Plenty of people have that. And if you have a service model that actually thrives off that, that is also perfectly fine. So studios are one of them. Clay, you're probably relating to this, is you want your classes booked out, even if you're paying contractors to come in, etc. But also we need to be mindful of, okay, at a certain level, that's going to get capped too. Once you're fully booked, where do we go next? So hopefully that resonates for you as well. Again, just a couple of different service models, and these are the primary service models that I see and that I work with all the time. We have classes models, or we have clinic and service model that has a fixed schedule, what you're physically available in your calendar every single week. You have a fixed schedule, which means you have a capped capacity. You have high physical output if you are in bricks and mortar, particularly. Your income can be unreliable. If people don't book, there's no pay. You have usually a lower average dollar spend per customer. Also meaning that it's going to take a lot more effort to get bang for buck out of your business. And you often will have a higher client turnover because their buy-in period is short. So depending on the model as well. The service model, so say someone who is an event planner may have an open schedule, meaning that they actually service when people need them, which also can mean you don't get any days off. Christy, one of my clients, has experienced that over the last couple of years of working with me, where she was working 7 days a week. She didn't have any days off. And we've recently changed her model, and she has now started a labor hire agency, which helps to make sure that actually she gets a day off, and so do her team members. But before, she was capped at capacity, huge high physical output, income unreliable, meaning some months she was getting bookings, some months she wasn't. She was being paid by the hour. So she was doing all of this work for $40 an hour, which you could get more working in the deli on a Sunday at Woolworths. And she had huge client turnover. There was no consistency here. So we completely changed her business model now. But an iconic service model, the difference is fewer clients, flexible delivery. So you get to choose how you deliver the result. There's less time working in the business so that you can spend more time working on the business if you want and scaling that. It's outcome driven. It's not driven by your time. You're not trading time for money, and it is high profit, which means increased cash flow for you, which means you get more decision-making power, because a lot of the time in our business, we get capped for growing because we don't have the money to invest in ads. We don't have the money to invest in a coach. We don't have the money to invest in new equipment. And so we get our cash flow back up, which means that we have better availability for us to make decisions. And an iconic service means you don't have to service clients every single day. You get more freedom. So tell me, which one are you leaning towards that you want? Do you want a time versus money exchange? Do you want a service model with an open schedule where people can book you whenever they need you? Or do you want a service model that actually serves them but also serves you? Tell me in the chat which one you want. Give me the word iconic if you want an iconic service model. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome. So, what actually sells and what is a iconic service? An iconic offer does all of the work for you. It has a clear outcome, a clear audience, a clear value proposition, a clear experience. So, from a service model point of view, it gives people an experience. It has clear timelines. It has a clear schedule and it has a process. So you will also know that I'm pretty big on processes and systems, and all of this makes an offer iconic. Also, adding in your unique selling proposition, meaning what is so unique about you that no one can copy it, even if your model is similar to other businesses, but what is so unique about your business, which this is a branding thing, that makes you the choice. So just some things to think about there. What it isn't underpricing, which is super common in wellness, slashing your prices on stuff and making it cheaper for everyone else won't mean that you're going to get more clients, won't mean that you're fully booked, and won't mean that you have profit in your business. Fewer clients, healthier business. So sometimes there is a little bit of an imbalance around what we perceive is the right amount for our business, and selling outcomes, not modalities, which I mentioned before. So we don't need, and clients don't need, a huge menu. I don't know if you relate to this, but if I go to a restaurant and I get a menu that's 4 pages long, I literally shut it because I am so overwhelmed. Decision fatigue is huge for consumers right now. It's never been more noisy in the marketplace, on social media, out in shopping centers with all the marketing materials and pods that are out there. And the minute we get a menu that is like enormous, filled with stuff, I'm just overwhelmed and I don't want to read it. So I don't know if that's true for you in the chat for me, but we don't need a huge menu. What we need is specific people that help with specific problems that can service me today, because everyone else in the marketplace also wants things solved quicker, faster, better. And so how can we actually do that and deliver on that as soon as possible for people? I'm going to give you one last example before we get stuck into the process and the worksheet, and you guys can actually start analyzing where you're at as well. And I know some of you are already working with me inside Soulful CEO Collective on your offers, but I think this is going to also help clarify where you're at. So we need to decide who we want to be, and we need to decide where we want to position ourselves in the marketplace. So you may have heard about market positioning before, and inside of Soulful CEO Collective, I'm rewriting the program at the moment. So as far as our iconic offers go and our sales model go, there's going to be a lot more work in this in the 2.0 version, which is coming out in the next 3 months. But we need to work out where we want to position ourselves in the marketplace. Do you want to be an economy-based business that serves to the masses at a lower rate? Do you want to be a business class or a first class provider that offers an exceptional, unique experience at a higher price with a reduced number of clients? Potentially, you can still serve high quality at mass. It just obviously takes a certain strategy. So the difference being, for example, economy, mass market, cheap tickets, low grade food standards, longer wait times, crowded space. You're 1 in 200 to 500 people on a flight, right? You're just another Joe. Business class, priority boarding and exit, extra luggage, extra space, more attentive staff, higher quality food and beverage, extra space around your chair so you don't have someone breathing on you or sharing your armrest with you, which I personally hate. Higher quality food standards, you get better quality wine. Yes, you can still get wine on some economy flights, but you actually get premium stuff in your business class or in your first class. You get extra comforts, the free pillows, the blankets you don't have to pay for, the screens, all of the extra things, and you are like 1 in 8 people. So the touch point is a lot more approximate to the person delivering the service. And so we need to decide, where do we want to position ourselves in the marketplace, and then create an offer around that. Because if you are trying to get business class payments from an economy customer It's just not going to happen because they have different needs and different expectations. I would love you to pop in the chat for me. What do you think is the difference in the result between economy and business class? Not the inclusions, the result. So if this woman in this picture was sitting in this economy seat, how would her experience have been different? What is the result difference for her? Okay, so you guys in the chat are all saying you want an iconic offer. Amazing. Definitely takes time to figure out. Absolutely. Business class, definitely want your business to feel fancy and valued for your knowledge. Would love you to define the word fancy for you. What does fancy actually mean? Because this means something different to everyone else. Daniela says comfort and opulence. Yeah, absolutely. So comfort and opulence are features of business class. But what is the result that she's going to get? How is her experience going to feel on the other end of that flight versus an economy person? So I recently came back from Melbourne and it happened to be a record exchange of upgrading using your points to come back on business class because it was New Year's Day. And turns out, by the way, travel hack, travel on New Year's Day, it was absolutely phenomenal. But I got back on like 25,000 points on a business class flight. And people were saying to me, why are you even wasting your time on a business class flight that's only 3 hours from Melbourne to Perth? And I can tell you, I felt so calm when I landed. I didn't feel dirty from being squished around other people that on the way to Melbourne, I had to share half my seat with someone who was taking up extra space, that I didn't feel crammed in with like all of my stuff just in this small, little, tiny space where I couldn't move, couldn't go to the bathroom, couldn't do anything around me. Whereas actually, when I sat in business class, I felt expansive. I felt spacious. I felt like I could be myself. I didn't have to actually, sometimes we do these things that you're unconscious, suck in your belly or keep your shoulders in tight, and you end up stressed and you get off the other end of the flight and you're like, holy shit, I'm exhausted and I haven't even started my trip yet. That is the experience difference, right? That is the result difference between these two service offers. So thinking about from start to finish your client experience is not just about the inclusions. It's not just about the features and the benefits that are stacked here in the dot points. It's about the result that client gets on the other end. An economy client, you will see this when you go to the airport next, now that I've maybe highlighted this to you, is they want a bargain. They're rude to the staff. They get off the other end and they're frustrated and everyone's got the shits up. And everyone is super, super frustrated when they're coming off the economy flight most of the time. Obviously, this is a big generalization, but hopefully this is resonating for people as well. If you're just joining us, welcome, Kiana. I'm just giving an analogy on economy versus business class. Business class people, they get off, they thank the staff, they're calm, they're grounded, they grab their luggage, they on with their day and they're focused. And like this woman in the picture, she could go and run a full conference after getting off of that flight without being stressed. She couldn't do that probably if she sat in an economy, because she's going to have a different experience, going to put her in a different mind state completely when she gets off the other end of that flight. So are we thinking about this when we create our offers? What kind of experience are we giving people and how are they going to leave our business? Are they going to recommend us because they had the best experience ever, or are they going to be stressed, maybe it didn't hit all their needs, etc., because we wanted to sell them a certain thing in a certain way, deliver it a certain way from our perspective and not what they actually need? So just something to consider there. So I'm just going to quickly check the chat. Yeah, more breathing room. Absolutely. They're going to feel cared for, special, talked about the experience to everyone. Absolutely. I don't know if you know this, but people are more likely to go and tell 10 people about a service that they hated versus a service that they liked. So if someone didn't enjoy a service, which most people don't enjoy economy, and I can't even tell you how many people I have told that I hate Jetstar because I've had so many bad experiences with them, I refuse to fly with them ever again. But I actually don't tell people who I fly with, not just because I'm trying to gatekeep information, but because it's nice, it's enjoyable. But I will always tell people what I don't enjoy versus what I do. It's just a natural psychology behavior. However, I am trying to make sure that I share more of my good experience as well. Comfortable luxury journey, she still gets to the same destination. Absolutely. These get people to the same destination, but they get them to the same destination in different ways. The whole experience is different, and the knock-on effect of how that person's day is going to go on the other end is completely different because of it. Cool. Awesome. I'm going to move on. Okay, I'm mindful of time. I get carried away with these things. So we're going to dive straight into the anatomy of a six-figure service and what makes it iconic and the iconic offer method. So you've probably seen maybe some form of model similar to this before, but I want you guys to keep in mind the experience of part of this that I've already mentioned and the part of this where I have already also talked about meeting your client where they're at and the problem that they're facing today. Our add-ons, our upsells, our downsells can actually give them another experience into where they are once they're through that first part of their journey with us. But we need to meet them where they're at today and deliver a service that is not only iconic and unique to us and our skills, but actually delivers an iconic result for them that they can't get anywhere else. And that's what's going to keep them coming back. So the steps to this are firstly, identifying the person specifically who you want to solve. Now, sure, you could probably solve everyone's problems in your niche, but do you want to? Think about the last 5 clients that you had that were absolutely awesome to work with. They paid their bills on time, they turned up on time, they loved your service, they were polite to you, they have referred to other people because they love working with you so much. This is what we want. We want another 10, 20, 30, 100 clients exactly like that. So, what are the characteristics of those people that came to you? What are their common problems? What are their common traits? And how could we market to them to make sure we're attracting one person, one persona that we can serve going forward? Now, the persona could be the same persona for men and women. Like you might service men and women, but the persona is the same and the problems are the same. So then we've got the problem. What is the one problem that we are solving specifically? The number one problem, not the 20 problems that they have, because we can identify those and we can work with those over time by adding on extra services to those or getting them to work with us longer so that we can help solve all 20 of their problems. But initially, when they come to you, what is the number one problem that they have and how can we solve that quicker, faster, better than anyone else? Then we need to get clear on the promise. What is your promise? When people come to you and you say, this is the service that I provide, what is the promise that you absolutely unequivocally know that you can deliver on? For example, this workshop. My promise to you at this workshop is that this workshop will give you a framework that you can follow to help you create an iconic offer that has the potential to make you 6 figures if you implement it. That is my promise from this workshop. And I can tell you, I check these slides like 10 times to make sure that I'm going to deliver on that you are going to walk away from this with enough information to gain clarity over how you can build an offer that will make you 6 figures. What you do with that after this workshop is your call. Highly recommend you implement it because it works. I've proven that it has, and so have my clients. Then it's the process. What is the process? What is your unique method that is different to everyone else that can get your clients a better result or a quicker result or a cheaper result than everyone else? Not even cheaper, but more valuable. Then the product is the deliverable. So even if it's not a physical, tangible product, it might be the service, so product or service here. It was just another P because it makes sense to have it in the, you'll remember that there were 6 Ps today. But the product, what is the product? What is the deliverable? How are you actually going to deliver this service? Then the price. So really getting clear on what is the price and what is the value stack of this that makes sense for the outcome that you are delivering and the client that you are talking to. Now, if you are trying to deliver a $10,000 product to someone that, haggles on prices for an economy seat, it's probably not going to happen if you can't articulate why they need it and the value that it provides. It's just not possible. If they don't see the value in it, there's no point pricing it like that. So you need to price your product and your service based on the persona and the biopsychology and the situation and the problem that you are solving and the outcome that you are delivering on. Give me a yes in the chat if this is making sense for you. I'm going to give you a heads up. If you have any appointments after this, I'm slightly going to be running overtime by possibly 15 minutes. We are going to get stuck into the worksheet next, but let me know in the chat if this is making sense for you. Awesome. Love it. Yes, yes. Really good. Awesome. Bear with my voice. I'm going to have no voice after this. Okay. So we're going to get stuck into this. Now, this is something that you're not going to perfect on your first go. So I need you guys to firstly give yourself some grace. Tell me in the chat the word grace. Are you prepared to give yourself some grace that you are not going to nail this the first time that you do this? And if you're in Soulful CEO Collective already, you will know this because we go back and forwards all the time. We refine your offer, we refine it, we test it, we take it to market, we see if it sells. If it sells, we test it and we see again what can be changed, and we refine over time. But we start now. We don't wait, because otherwise we're prolonging helping people. We're prolonging you being able to earn great profit for your offer. And we're just delaying the results for everyone all year round. So there is a part of this that is going to need to be refined over time, not just the individual offer, but the audience. You'll have to get more and more clear every single iteration that you do of this on your offer, more and more on your main marketing channel. So you need to have one audience, one offer, one marketing channel, and one sales conversion method. And you need to do this for 1 year. And so you need to give yourself some grace in the process of doing this. This is what I did. I changed my offer. I went all in on one niche, being wellness and events, one offer, being the Soulful CEO Collective, one main marketing channel, which is Instagram for me. I market on others, but my number one priority is Instagram, and one sales conversion method, which was calls and is now a little bit of a combo because I have that process down and doubled and I can change now. And I gave it 1 year. And in 1 year, I made $107,500 out of one offer that was brand new. I didn't do anything else for the whole year. So it works. You just need to give yourself some grace. So thank you for popping in the chat that you're going to give yourself some grace. I love that. I'm going to give you the worksheet now, and we are actually going to hash this out. This is going to be rapid fire. And the reason we're going to do this rapid fire with you is because when we do this quickly, we are going with our first response, our subconscious first response. And so it's really important to not overthink this, because I know, and this lovingly, you guys already do all the overthinking. And so I don't want you to do more overthinking. I want you to take action. And so I'm going to give you the link in the chat just now. Let me just paste this in for you. Open this up, make a copy, change the name of the document at the front of it to your first name. Maybe it's Shelley's copy or whatever, especially for Soulies, or if you're going to want help with this afterwards, if you send this to me, I will end up with 20 named the same thing and I will not know which one's mine. And we had that on my last workshop where I buggered up the link and someone edited my original, which was not fun because I had to fix it. So please make a copy of this and save this for yourself. This document is not in Soulful CEO, so it will be after in the replay. If you can't do this right now, that is totally cool. Anyone with the link, edit access. Can you guys give me another go at that? Just have another shot at that and see if it works now. You should be able to make a copy. We are going to go through this together rapid fire. Okay, cool. Give me a yes in the chat if you've got this open and saved your own copy. That would be great. If you can't and you're just listening, that's all good. Love it. Sweet, sweet. Cool. We're going to get stuck into this. So this is rapid fire. You guys can edit this in your own copy. You're just going to answer this truthfully for yourself. I want you to start here at where you're at now, right? We're right here, right now. And I want you to get really honest with yourself through this. This is not about shaming yourself. This is not about shaming anyone in public or anything like that. It's just getting some clarity, because our awareness precedes change. And without awareness of where we're actually at, we don't have a starting point and we can't see where we're actually going. We can't create the pathway for ourselves. A lot of you are probably thinking, I don't know the how. I don't know how to, I know where I'm in a problem at the moment and I don't know how to get out of it. It's not your problem. The how is not your problem. The awareness of where you are at is the problem, and your goals of where you want to go is your choice. The middle part is all figure outable. So number one, what is true for you? And I want you to just tick or highlight. You can just highlight which one is where you are at right now. Either one, I offer too many services. I customize my pricing often. My income is inconsistent. I feel busy but capped, whether that means capped for time or capped for income. My income depends on my availability. Once you've got that, pop me your number in the chat. First thing that comes to mind for you. Might be multiple, might be 1 and 4, or might be 2 and 6. Tell me in the chat where you're at. Crystal, all. Okay, cool. Fair, love the honesty. Love that. And you're just starting out, so that makes perfect sense. 6 for Claire. Income depends on your availability. Yeah. Katana, 1, 3, and 6. Great. Awesome. So there's no shame here, guys. It's just what feels right for you. All right, let's move to the next part. Your current reality. I want you to just type in here, how many hours a week are you currently working? Not just hands-on in your business, but if you work in bricks and mortar and you're servicing face-to-face clients or you're servicing clients online and you are also working on your business, tell me a total. How many hours are you currently working in your business? Give me an estimate. So you're just going to pop that in your worksheet. I would love you to pop it in the chat as well if you have that ability. And then we're quickly going to move on to number 2. How many hours do you want to be working per week? You know, if you know that you only want to be working like 10 till 4 every day or school hours because of your kids, or you only want to see 3 clients a day and you don't even want to do any of your own admin, what do you actually want that to look like for you? And again, think outside of the box, not what you're currently doing, but what is the dream goal? Even if you're not there in the next 12 months, but eventually, what do you want to work towards? How many hours a week do you want to be working in your business? Maybe you don't want to be working in it at all. Maybe you just want to be the owner. That's totally optional as well. Okay, so if you've got that, your hours, tell me, you can just do a slash. So it might be like currently working 40 hours and I want to be working 20. You can just do 40/20 in the chat. Tell me your hours, actual versus goals. And then we're going to very quickly move on to how many services do you currently have? Now, a couple of you actually put those in the chat earlier. So just reflecting, and again, you can fine tune this after. How many services or offers do you currently have in your business? Just noting that in your worksheet. Cool. Claire, currently working 50 hours, would love to be working 20. Katana, 4. Shelley, 50, would love to be working 25. Amazing. Love this. So we have a gap, guys. We have a gap between where we are now and where we want to be. And this is the most important part, is that our offers moving forward and our business model moving forward need to reflect where we want to be going. If they're just going to keep us exactly where we are, we're just going to end up very exhausted very quickly. But perhaps with more money. And trust me, money is not everything when it comes to working. I have had a career where I worked 70, 80 hours a week, got paid a lot of money for it, felt shit, never been more depressed in my whole life. Would not recommend. So earning more money and keeping exactly where you are is not actually going to be conducive to a good time. We want to work towards all of your goals and not just one of them. Adding in your sheet how many services you currently have, and then what is your current income level? Are you making like an approximate of 5K per month, 2K per month, 7, 8, 10, 30, whatever it is for you? If you're just starting out, you can put 0. It's totally cool. But again, this is not about shaming. This is just a reality check of where we actually are at so that we have a starting point to move forward. And then number 5 is, what do you want or need to meet your lifestyle goals, to cover your expenses, all of those sorts of things. And again, this is high level. So if you don't know the actuals on this, you haven't crunched your numbers on this, highly recommend you do that. We do that also inside Soulful CEO Collective. I have guides and templates that are free for helping you work out your personal and business budgets and targets. And also recommend everyone that has a go and sees a financial advisor at some point as well. But high level, what do you want to be earning? So if you're currently earning like 2K per month and you want to be earning 10K per month, put that. And then number 6 is, what is the gap? What is the dollar gap? Have you got like a $6,000 a month gap here? Have you got a $10,000 per month gap? Have you got a $3,000 per month gap of where you currently are versus where you want to be? So that's just questions 4, 5, and 6. And then I want you to tell me in the chat, what is your gap? So again, don't overthink it too much. Just ideally, what is your gap? Katana, 6K average gap. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So guys, this gap is super important feedback and information to you, because now you know what the gap is. Now we can work out how to close it. Okay, 5K month gap, 1K month gap, amazing, cool, awesome. So now we've got the gap. We know that we have this certain amount of money that is MIA at the moment. And now we can go, okay, how can I actually get that? And how can I get that in the path of least resistance? So one more reflection here in section 1 is, I just want you to write maybe like a couple of dot points in here. What is the biggest frustration in your business right now? It can just be a word, and it might be time or whatever. We're going to go through a little bit of that moment, but I want you to work out, what is the biggest frustration in your business right now? Is it that you just feel like you can't move ahead? Do you feel stuck? Do you like, what do you think? Are you attracting the wrong clients? Are you getting people not pay on time? What is actually going on that's causing you the most frustration in your business right now? And then just drop me that, the number one thing in the chat. You can just copy and paste it. It's probably the easiest way. Remember, don't overthink it. First things that come to mind. If you had someone stuff you around last week and you're still really mad about it, then that is probably the most prevalent thing right now. Pop that in. Claire, staffing. Yeah, staffing's tough, right? So when you've got team, when you've got contractors, you've got people coming and going from your business, super challenging. Yeah, absolutely. Something that I've done in leadership for a long time. Inconsistency of booking intakes for the main offer. Yeah, Katana, totally get that. It can be very frustrating. Working on the business rather than working in the business, 100%. Cool. Awesome. Great points here, guys. We're going to move on to section 2. So if you're playing along at home or listening in the car, feel free to come back to this worksheet later on and fill it in at your own time. So now we're going to get clear on what is the cost of staying where you are. If nothing changes, what will happen and what will your income look like in the next 12 months? So just typing underneath this first question here, what will happen in the next 12 months if you stay exactly where you are? Will your business survive? Will you probably have a bit of a breakdown? Will you run out of money? Will it impact your relationships? What will actually happen if you stay in the exact same position for the next 12 months? Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe you've got other income streams or something like that, and you're just going to stay exactly where you are. You're not going to progress, but you're not going to be any worse off. Just put a realistic check for you in that. If you're up for sharing, I would love to hear it in the chat. Hobby, business, find something new. Okay, cool. What about the mindset side of that, Crystal? Just from our chats earlier on this week, how will you feel about that? Okay, next section, question number 2 is, what does this cost me in time, energy, confidence, lifestyle? So is one of these, is it costing you the most here? Is it costing you the most energy? Is it costing you the most confidence? Is it costing you your lifestyle? Is it costing you sales or time? Is it costing you your relationship? Is it costing you your freedom? What is the cost of staying stuck? Will you lose all of your confidence? Costing you time and energy? 100%. Yeah. All of them? Yeah. Agree, Crystal? Okay, cool. Awesome. So what is this costing you? Feel free to drop it in the chat. Would love to hear, what is this costing you? This is different for everyone because we all have different goals. Now we're going to get clear on your iconic service. If you're still with me, I know this feels like sometimes a lot, and I have been speaking a lot. If you're still with me, tell me in the chat, give me a thumbs up that you're still with me, you're still following along. And if you're driving, no need to text, it's all good. Katana says, I'll be surviving, not thriving. It's just an exhausting space to stay. Yeah, 100%. I've totally been there. I understand exactly. Cool. All right, if you're still with me, give me some form of emoji in the chat. We're going to get stuck into just a quick frame around your iconic service. Now, like I said, this is a full course inside Soulful CEO Collective. If you are already in Soulful CEO Collective, you'll know we've been working through this. I have an entire course on this inside the program. But I'm giving you a distilled down version of this with a couple of extra points that maybe I haven't covered inside Soulful CEO. And like I said, I'm re-recording my entire program, which will be 2.0, will be live in about 3 months. So we're going to get clear on that now. Daniela's emoji is a see no evil monkey emoji. So hopefully you're not overwhelmed there, Daniela. We are getting so clear on your offer already. 6-figure service. This is a draft, right, guys? This is a draft for you. This is something for you to just get that, some clarity points happening, and maybe some things where you can go back and you can circle back and reflect on. So feel free to play along at home on your own worksheet here. The first part is, tell me, who is your ideal client? An ideal client, if you can picture your top 3 clients that are just the best clients, they make you smile every time they come in or you see them or work with them, they make you laugh, like people that you would just want to be surrounded by 10, 20, 30 more of those clients. Who are those clients? What is their characteristics? Who are they? And you're just going to write this in your worksheet. And then if they're business clients, you're going to put what stage of business they're at, perhaps. Or if they're B2C clients, you're going to put maybe what stage of life they're at. What are the characteristics that they have going on for them right now? And then you're just going to put, what are they dealing with right now? What is their current lived situation? Again, just do this in dot points is the easiest way. This worksheet, by the way, is super, super helpful for uploading into AI and then helping you write content. Once you've got all this mapped out, it's become so easy. Okay, so you're going to rapid fire here. If you can give me some form of indication, who is your ideal client? Tell me exactly who is your ideal client and maybe one character trait that you love about them that you would love on rinse and repeat. For me, it's action takers and people that pay on time. They are, for me, I know that if someone comes into my program and starts taking action, that they are going to get the best results. If they start asking questions, they're going to get the best results. If they start showing up to calls, they're going to get the best results. If they are watching modules and implementing, they're going to get the best results. For me, like, give me 100 more of those people because that excites me to see people go through this change and to have their lives changed. If you're inside Soulful CEO Collective, you'll see overnight, Chrissy's put a comment in there or a post in there about her personal business journey at the moment. Now, we have spent 12 months refining her offers and her business model, and she has now brought that to fruition and now can just turn the tap on, repeat, and start attracting more and more of the same clients that she started having last year, which got her to 10K months. And she was at 4K months when she started with me. Okay, cool. They're committing to the process. They're currently burnt out, overwhelmed, overstretched, but they're ready for change. Amazing. Love that for you, Katana. We want people that want to change, that want to get out of their pain point. It's really hard to work with people that don't want to change, that want to stay stuck in the shit. That's really hard for any practitioner, coach, teacher to move. Cool. The problem. Give me a couple of problems here. Obviously, we're running out of time, so I want you guys to just list a couple of problems, even if it's just the number one problem that they're dealing with. Again, it might be burnout, might be body pains and aches, might be stress, might be anxiety, whatever you guys deal with, might be postpartum. That might be their number one problem. And then the promise. What do they get from working with you? What is the opposite of their problem? Just put one thing for now, and you can come back to this and you can stack this with extra things. Cool. So what is the outcome of working with you? What will their life look like when they are through the journey? However long that takes. What is the ultimate end goal for this person? In their words, not yours. All right, we're going to move down to section 4, how it works. So the process. This is going to take some time, so we're not going to do this now, but I'm going to talk you through the rest of this section. I need you guys to take time on this one, but keep it simple. What is your method or process? Now, what we have here is usually we have an unconscious awareness of how we do this because we've been doing it for a long time. We just do this on repeat. But what is rinse and repeatable and easy to market is something that you can actually articulate. So if you can't articulate what your process or method is or service is that gets people a result that is unique to versus other businesses, it's going to be really hard for you to sell it. And people are not going to know how the journey works with you. And so I need you to distill this down in steps. And now you might have 20 steps, you might have 30 steps, you might only have 3, but you're going to need to take some time out for this and work out what are the steps and processes that helps get people a result. And if you have multiple services under one business umbrella, maybe you're thinking about this from the branding point of view. And you're thinking about, okay, their first time with me, they're probably going to come for a sauna, for Claire, for example. Then they might need to do some yoga classes. And then if they've been doing yoga classes for 6 weeks, then they actually might need a one-on-one session. And how can you actually create this journey where they're actually become an omni client, meaning that they're shopping in different ways from you, but the service is the same. The problem that you're solving is still one thing, and the outcome is one thing, but you're just helping them with different tools under the one umbrella. Then the deliverable. So what does this actually look like for you? Is this going to be one-on-one sessions? Are you doing some form of group coaching program? Is it a digital product that people can download or a course that they can watch? Is it hybrid? Is it part done with you? How long does it go for? What are the boundaries and frameworks around that? So again, this is not a quick one. You're going to need to take a little bit of time on this. Just take a little bit of extra time. Maybe you already know, but get really clear on what actually is the deliverable of that as well. Okay. We're going to come down quickly to pricing and then we're going to wrap up here. Now, I know that this has been a lot. So again, give me a thumbs up if you're still following. We don't have too much more to go, but pricing reality check. I need you to get clear on what your current model is pricing at And what you want this offer, your one iconic offer or one hero package to be that helps get you to your goal, but also helps deliver on the service and the promise that you are giving your client and the outcome that they actually want. So if you've got multiple services, maybe there is an opportunity here for you to roll all of these into one hero iconic offer. And that happens to be one of my specialties, is helping you do that. And I've done that with many different business models. So regardless of if you're a bricks and mortar, almost like a spa, exactly like yourself, Claire, or someone like Katana's business, or you're running a coaching program or whatever, or digital products for Shelley, there are ways where you can roll this into one hero service. The price based on outcome and capacity, this service will be priced at. So I need you to have a little bit of a think of this and then do the math check, which is what most people don't do. They don't check how many of them they would need to sell or provide to hit your income goal, and they don't check the profit in it. So you guys are going to need, profit's another whole thing, but you will need to check that for yourself. How many of these things do you need to sell? So for example, if your offer is $1,000 and you want to make 10K per month, you're going to need to sell 10 of them per month. Okay, which is probably going to require 20 sales calls per month, which is probably going to require 100 leads per month. And so then we start to work backwards. Okay, if I need 100 leads per month, what type of marketing do I need to put out? And how do I actually go about that? What kind of calls to action would I need to actually do to get 100 leads per month, to get 20 calls, to get 50% of those calls closed? So there's a whole workaround here. And like I said, the how is not necessarily your problem. It happens to be my expertise. That's what my job is as a business coach, is to help people with the how. But I just need you to get clear on what is the price and how many of these do I need to sell a month? If you know what that is, tell me in the chat. What is your average sale price and how many do you need to sell a month to hit your goal? And again, this might be something that you'll reflect on after this call. But what feels exciting about creating an offer that is iconic and that can get you to your goals? And if there's anything that's unclear, you can let me know what that is in the chat. Kiana, I require to make 5 to 6K months. Cool. Amazing. No worries, Shelley. Have a great day. We'll catch up later in the Solies. If anyone else wants to put theirs in there, this is absolutely being my missing link, is just not feeling comfortable to look at the math. Ooh, okay, cool. We may have some money blocks there, which is also, it might feel odd or it might feel uncomfortable, but this is also feedback. Your body is giving you some nervous system response feedback here, Kiana, which is great, because then we can also do something about it, which is amazing. So if you have money blocks, sorting out money blocks is directly tied to what's coming in, directly tied to how you price it, all of the things. This is really good awareness here. I love this. Katana, simplifying, creating something unique. Love that, love it, love it. Awesome. Crystal, pricing an offer, which gives you the exact vibes that feels aligned. Perfect. Awareness is absolutely create feedback. Excited to move this block. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for the participation in the chat. I know a couple of you have to log off and I've gone super overtime. I originally set this at 90 minutes and I was like, no, we can do this in 60, but it turns out I like talking a lot. I'm going to switch back just now and we're just going to recap on what we've been through. We've been through quite a lot. We've just talked about the person, the problem, the promise, the process in which you deliver your service or your result, the product and how that actually looks, the deliverable side of that, the pricing, all of it. It's a lot. I have an entire course on this inside Soulful CEO Collective, and we iterate, we go back and forwards and we test and we measure and we work out what's going to work for you. Now, I have so many clients that have been doing this recently. We recently onboarded a ton of new people before Christmas, and they are already moving the needle with this. I also have a client I want to bring mention to in this top left-hand corner of the screen now is one of my clients, Lily. Lily has been working with me for nearly 3 years now. She is a Pilates teacher, a massage therapist, does cupping, all the things, works in a super remote location in the Pilbara. She was capped by how many people could come to her classes because her studio size was so small. She could only fit 6 to 8 people in her class at any time. Absolutely at max capacity for one-on-ones and classes, she couldn't possibly make more than 6K per month. In the last 2 weeks, like literally 10 days. This has only been this side of this year. She has created one brand new offer and she has sold 3 people in the last week. That's 3 people at $1,500 a head. And she was stuck in this scarcity and money block as well. And now she has just created a brand new offer where she can work with people online all over the world at $1,500 a pop, which we're working on moving her resilience of pricing as well. So she'll sell probably another 3 people in at this price, and then she'll bump the price up, and we'll continue to bump the price up as she gets more confidence in selling it and delivering it and testing it. So this is someone who has an immense amount of experience, multiple modalities that are normally received in person that we've turned into an online program, which is crazy. This also means that it's accessible for you as well. I've got an event business person, like I was mentioning before, Christy, who has just completely changed. Yeah, bloody awesome for Lily. Love that for her. Christy, who has several components to her business, also was servicing people in person, now has moved into consulting and is actually working with some of Perth's and other states as well, most popular business coaches to deliver amazing events for them. So we obviously have lots of other people that are feeling healthier from winning back time in their business by changing their offers, that are getting clear messaging, new followers, all of the things just by changing their iconic offer. So this works for every single business model that I work with, just so that you guys know. Now, this is where most people stall, is how do I actually turn this gap that we've just highlighted into something that actually works? What do I even do next? And like I said to you before, the how is the tricky part, and it's also not your problem, which is great because I can solve this problem. So I do have a program called the Soulful CEO Collective. It is a 12-month mastermind, but I also know that for a lot of people that can feel a little bit scary. And so what I do have is a accelerator program called Sell It Like It's Hot. And a couple of the ladies on this call actually went through the first ever round of Sell It Like It's Hot, and also had their minds open to different ways in which they can change and create their offers. I am opening this up again, and it runs for 4 weeks only. And what this is, a micro container where you get really close time with me to nail your offer and get it selling within 4 weeks. So depending on where you're starting from, depending on what your goals are, and if you're currently making money or you're building an offer from scratch, you have the potential to add an extra 5K to your month in just 4 weeks. So this is something that I'm opening up again to you guys exclusively. Which is super exciting. So again, there's just a couple of extra testimonials, comments, etc., of people that have been through it. It was absolutely phenomenal the last round. I'm only opening this up once a quarter, and I'm going to open this up once a quarter for the rest of the year. But this will never be this price again. The next round, it will actually go up because, again, I'm updating this and it will have even more information in it. But this is a micro container where you work through short little videos, just chipping away 10-minute little videos that you can go and implement and action immediately. You do need to submit some homework to me. It is really easy. In fact, instead of filling in a worksheet like you did today, you get AI bots and you can actually have that complete in 10 minutes and send it to me, meaning that you can implement faster and you can start getting results with your iconic offer straight away. So if you were already if you did the last round of Sell It Like It's Hot, Danielle can probably tell you the value that's in there as well, which was amazing. So this is for action-taking business owners ready to ditch perfection and start making real money with a plan that actually works. So this is where you will get my one-on-one help with everything that we've talked about today. So you might run a wellness business, a lifestyle business, holistic business, events, something like that, and you want to create an offer where you can finally sell with ease and not feel stressed about it. You want to bring big energy in. I'm going to give you all the energy. The guys will tell you before, even I think Daniela messaged before, thanking me for all the effort that I go all in with you guys. I treat your business like it's my business and I'm in it with you. Sometimes my love is a little bit tough love and tough to hear, but it's because I want you guys to succeed, because I want you guys to not have to sacrifice your health and your lifestyle for your business. You should be able to make a high profit easily without it feeling like you have to sacrifice time with your kids, your partner, all of the things. So that's who it's for. This is not for people who sign up and ghost. So if we go back to the iconic offer, I asked you guys to work out who you want to work with. This is who I want to work with. I want to work with people who are going to show up, who are going to do the work, and who are really excited for fucking change. This is not for people that blame coaches, etc. There's plenty of people out there, and trust me, I've worked with shit coaches as well, and I'm sorry if you've had that experience, but like I said, I go all in, and I really mean that. The people that are working with me hopefully can testify to that are on this call. This is also not for e-commerce brands. If you are only an e-commerce brand or only sell physical products, this is probably not going to be for you. I can help you in other ways, but this is probably not going to be for you. And this is not just girls who just want to vibe in a community. There are plenty of Facebook groups for that. Yes, you get good vibes anyway. I'm going to give you that for free. The community creates that for free. That is a part of being inside my containers. They are always high vibe people because that's who we attract in. But it's also not for entrepreneurs. If you want to do this, you have to be all in. So here's how it works and what's included. We do 4 live rounds. So this goes for 4 weeks. We kick off on the 2nd of February, Monday, the 2nd of February. You get 4 live calls with me, completely separate to the Soulful CEO guys. So we will jump on a call, and this is a Q&A call to help you through the work that you've been doing in the modules in that container. So every single week you will have one core course to work through and action to take. Total amount of work from watching that entire week's worth of stuff is about 2 hours worth of work. Now, if you can scroll on social media for 2 hours a week, you can do this course and you can make money. I promise you. You're going to get daily support from me. Every single day, you can put a question inside of the community. It's a private chat for what we call the hotties, and the hotties group, separate to the soulies group. You get my full attention every single day. I will jump in, answer your questions, review your documents, review your offers. I can review anything else you want me to review inside of this container, but you have to be in it. Like I said, bite-sized videos every single week. You get your weekly content released, and you can go ahead and watch that. You get templates, you get script, you get plug and play resources, you get AI tools that I personally have created that have all of my IP in the back end of them. So you don't even need to fill in the worksheets. You can just use the AI bot to make it super easy to implement. And obviously you get the community, which is not a Facebook group. It's a private application on an app that we use called Heartbeat, which I happen to love. And then a built-in accountability system where you will actually have to submit every single week your work to me. And this is to hold you accountable. Most people don't do the work and they say that they needed accountability from a coaching program. My personal belief is that this is your business and your results. And if you want to be making money, then you need to own it. But just as a safety net, I'm going to hold you accountable anyway, lovingly. Now, this is going to go live to the public on Monday. You guys have a couple of days to get in before it goes live to the public. I am opening only 10 spots for this. So if you are watching this back and you've got any questions, please reach out to me. If you are live on the call and you're not currently working with me in Soulful CEO Collective and you are interested in this, is your opportunity to get in before other people get in. If you join this before Monday, you will also get a bonus one-on-one call with me to discuss anything about your business that you like and get some form of custom action plan. So that is my offer. If you are a Soli, you already have access to Sell It Like It's Hot. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. It's really freaking good. You guys get that for free. That is also a part of it. If you are not sure if you should be in Soulful CEO Collective and you want more information about that, and you're not sure if you should be in Sell It Like It's Hot or Soulful CEO Collective, then you can also book a call with me. Please just message me straight after this via Instagram. You can just send me a message on Instagram. It is at harmony_jade. And you can ask me, we will jump on a quick call and we can work out which program is best for you. So hopefully that helps you guys as well. Every single week, like I said, you get new content. Every single week has a different intention behind it. The whole entire first week is about nailing your offer. Then we work on promoting it. Then we work on selling it. And then we work on adjusting it to make sure that you can consistently get cash into your business in week 4. We just go absolutely guns blazing, try and get as many of this offer sold in that last week as well. So this is what the roadmap looks like. I have a ton of frequently asked questions. They are available on the sales page. So I am just going to skip straight here. If you're interested in joining and getting the early bird offer on this, which gets you a bonus call, then you can just scan the QR code here, and my sales page is going to give you all the information about it. Every single question that you probably have about this offer is going to be on there. Your options are now you can pay in full for $997, or you can do 4 payments of $297 per week. Like I said, there's only 10 spots available. This will be going up to $1,500 in the next quarter, and I am only opening this up once per quarter. This is it for February. So we will have a call every single Monday for 4 weeks from the 2nd of February, and then you will get the opportunity to work through this. You'll get access for 3 months after as well, which is amazing. I'm going to open up now to any questions, and I know I've gone over time. Hopefully it's been extra valuable to you guys, and hopefully you've got something out of this. Please just let me know how I can help you in the chat. I'll go back to leave that QR code up if you want to look at it. But if you are currently on and have questions, feel free to unmute. Meanwhile, if you could please tell me in the chat, what is your number one takeaway from this workshop? What has resonated with you the most? I would love to hear what has resonated with you the most. Hopefully you got something out of this. Don't all go at once. Too many good points. I love that, Katana. And absolutely, you're going to have to go back through this worksheet, guys. If you didn't have access to the worksheet because you were driving or distracted or whatever, that's totally cool. You're going to get an email straight after this with your worksheets. And then you'll also get a separate email about Sell It Like It's Hot if you're not already in Soul Hall CEO Collective, in case you lose the QR code or whatever, you've got any other questions. But please tell me in the chat, what is your number one takeaway? What did you get out of this? Obviously, if you only joined us halfway as well, you will also get the replay. You can go back and you can watch the front half of this workshop as well. But also feel free to ask any questions in the chat, or if you want to unmute. I don't bite. I'm super friendly. I'm passionate, but I'm super friendly. If you want to unmute, you can ask me anything.
I'll ask you a question, Harmony.
Amazing. Thanks, Katana.
All right. So my first question is, as a Soli, I know that the Sell It Like It's Hot is in there loaded already. So are you suggesting we do that's in there, or join you for a new live round?
So for you guys, you've got access to it straight away. So the sooner you can get onto it, the better. You're not going to have to wait 2 weeks for it to kick off. If you haven't watched that yet and you are still stuck on the offer part, then that actually could be a good place for you to start. But feel free to also just remind me in your inside Solies exactly where you're at and what you're working on right now, and we can try and work out what's a priority for you. If you're feeling like you would love to do this and just get more clarity and you want to shift your awareness and focus to this, but also I know for you at the moment, our number one priority was getting you more bookings, and this could help with that. But yeah, just let me know what you feel like your number one goal is right now, and then I can direct you on what do we actually need the focus to be? Do we need to actually pivot?
Yeah, this is the hard thing because I feel like it's all number one top priority. Marketing is getting the new bookings in, creating one iconic offer. Because like when we go through this whole process, like today, I was going, this is awesome. But how do I make that work for me? No, that's my block. I'm like, and that's your genius. But I'm like, I don't understand
Such a
how to
good
do it.
question.
But I guess my question really is about, because obviously you're going to be doing live calls.
So Solis will get access to the live calls when the live round goes live as well. Those calls will be strictly for questions around iconic offer.
And that.
Yeah. So yeah, but you will get access to that as well. And so for you, Katana, in just that extra piece of information that you just gave me, your one hero iconic offer, I think is something that we're going to chip away at over time. I think right now where your business is at, because I know where your business is at, I think we still need to get your bookings up for where you are just now, so that we can keep paying the bills and making sure that we got profit coming in and sales coming in consistently. And then over time, we're just going to chip away at this. So I don't want you to stress over it, but that's where I think you need to be.
I agree. I'm going to keep focusing on the marketing and bringing more bookings in, and then I'll work on the iconic offer and just tailor everything from there. Yeah. Okay. And I can't remember what my other question was, but that's heaps anyway. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thanks for asking a question. Always nice. Kiana, I don't know if I've met you because I'm not seeing your face here. I would love to meet you if you feel open to turning your camera on. And I know that you were only able to join us halfway. Please let me know if you've also got any questions. So many good points people are saying here. Taking a look and making sure the offer has a messaging created without a purpose. Yep. And Claire popped in there that she has also recognized that it is viable to create a comprehensive multimodality style offer within a hybrid for a person as well. So she's in probably a similar position to Lily. Amazing. Awesome. If you guys have any other questions, please reach out to me. If you are a Soli, please only reach out to me inside Soulful CEO Collective, just so I can manage my message influx. If you are not a Soli, then please reach out to me on Instagram. It has been my pleasure as usual to give you guys some extra insights into my brain and business. And hopefully this has been helpful for you to realize that we have a gap and that we can close the gap actually pretty easily when we have a specific pathway. So please reach out to me. Remember that this Sell It Like It's Hot is only open to the people on this call or watching the replay back from this call, with the bonus for the rest of this weekend. And it'll be open to the public for next week. We'll be open to the public for 1 week unless we are fully booked to 10 people before that. And then thereafter, we are going to be live. So hopefully you have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me on a Friday morning, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.